Hello, this is part 2 of my basic Windows tutorial, and in this video we're going to cover some of the slightly more advanced topics, but they're still just going to get into them, just a little bit of a basic explanation to get you started on what they mean and what you can do with them. First thing we're going to discuss is some of our setup configuration information, and that is accessed by clicking on the Start menu, as we just did here, and then going to the Control Panel. Control panel has an icon for just about everything that is set up on your computer. If you notice, we have an icon for Bluetooth, game controllers, mice, personalize your desktop, your QuickTime video player, network and sharing center, phones, modems, audio, sound, just about everything that you would expect to find. And some of the most advanced configurations, such as your driver information, are stored inside the system. So when you click on System, you're going to come up on your basic system information, such as what processor you have, what name you have, how much RAM you have. And to get to the driver information, you click on Device Manager. And that shows you all of the hardware that is installed in your computer. And you can go in and make sure it's working properly, see what versions of drivers you're using. For instance, if I click on the monitor and expand it, it tells me we're using an HP 1907 monitor, which is correct. And if there was a problem, there would be a yellow exclamation point right here. But we can right click on this and select Properties, and it'll actually tell us the driver date of release, driver number, who provided it, etc. And you can even click Update Driver to try to find a newer driver from the driver database online. And that is often a good place to start if you have something that has the yellow exclamation point, or oftentimes you need to go to your motherboard manufacturer or your hardware manufacturer and see if they have a better driver, so you don't have to have Windows search for it. You just go get it from the website, and that's the easiest way to install it. The next thing I want to discuss is regedit, and this is the Windows registry. And to get there, we just type regedit, or we can type regedit and run. And then we click on that. And I should warn you that this is a very dangerous tool. Just basically every setting inside your computer from all of your programs and hardware is stored inside the registry at somewhere or another, so you really don't need to be poking around in the registry unless you have a specific reason and specific instructions. But lots of times, hardware fixes will send you to the registry and tell you that this is a good place to start, and they'll even give you the names of registry keys you need to change. So we'll start out by explaining a little bit about what those mean. If you notice up here, we have H key and a lot of different types of registry entries. Lots of times you'll find settings under HP local machine, and they'll tell you it's to go to HP local machine, software, Microsoft, Windows, etc. So basically you just go down the tree, software, then we find Microsoft, and we find Windows, etc. And then once we get down to the bottom level, such as current version, we have these over here, and these are your actual keys. And to change them, you can just right click on them and click Modify, which is something you really don't want to do unless you know exactly what you want it to be modified to. And lots of times hardware fixes will tell you what to change it to, but I do recommend that before you change anything, you come up here to File and click Export, and that allows you to basically export that specific registry file, save it on your desktop or somewhere you can get back to it. And then if something goes wrong, you can double click that file that you've saved, and it will restore it back to the version it was when you backed it up. So basically, when you're changing things in the registry, make a backup copy first, because you won't always be able to get back in there and change it correctly. So that's just a basic look at some of the easiest ways to configure Windows with Control Panel, your registry editor, and your device manager. And the next thing we're going to be discussing is some basic forensic security information. Okay, now we're going to take a quick look at some of the basic forensic tools which will allow you to gather information off of your computer, and we're also going to take a quick talk about security on your computer. I really recommend that all computers be running multiple layers of security. Every computer needs a firewall, and on this computer I'm using Komodo firewall, but there's really a lot of them available. You can do some research on the internet and choose which one you like the best. And you also need an antivirus software, and for that I'm using AVG, once again because it's free and it's fairly good. Another free fairly good one is Avast, and you really need to have both of those running on any computer that is connected to the internet in modern times. By both of those I mean a firewall and a antivirus scanner, not necessarily the exact same two programs that I'm running. But sometimes things do go wrong and you need to look up some of the problems that they have caused and maybe get a little bit more information about your computer. And to do that, I recommend you use Foundstone tools. And to get those, you just go to foundstone.com, and once there, you can click Free Tools and Resources on their website, and then that'll bring up a list of all of their tools, and you can click on them individually to download them. Some really good ones are Dump Autocomplete, which shows you all of the information that Firefox is storing about you, and just a lot of different tools on here. Forensic Toolkit combines several of them into one location, so that's another good one. And Fport is another good one. There is some problem with getting these tools to run on Vista and Windows 7. It can be somewhat difficult. A few of them have workarounds online, and some of them just don't work at all. So it's kind of hit and miss. But if you're using Windows XP, they all work. Another good source for tools to use in this type of basic investigation of your system settings is the sysinternals suite. And you can find that just by typing sysinternals into your favorite search engine, and it gives you the website, which is technet.microsoft.com/en-us/sysinternals, and from there you can click on sysinternals suite and download the suite or the individual programs. I already have the suite downloaded, so I'll open up that directory. We'll take a look at what some of these do. Auto runs is a good place to start. Auto runs basically shows you everything that loads when Windows loads, and it's a great place to find things that were installed by something other than you, such as a virus. As you can see, it shows us programs that start on logon, programs that are loaded by Internet Explorer, such as cookies and add-ons and extensions, and we have scheduled tasks. Everything is running on the schedule in the background, all the services that are running, all the drivers that are running. We even have sidebar gadgets, printers, just about everything you can think of, media codecs, and it allows you to uncheck these to turn them off the next time your computer boots. So that really is a great tool to temporarily get rid of a few things, and this will allow you to run a better version of an antivirus or anti-malware software. Also on this computer I have a custom batch file which is written for me by my teacher, and we'll just open it up and take a quick look. And as you can see, what this one does is it uses a lot of these tools, such as ipconfig, which is basically built into Windows, and netstat and nptstat, to get information about our network, and then it uses psloggedon to see information about all the users and sessions that are logged on. That's a sysinternals tool, and open files and pslist. There's just a lot of different things that allow you to collect information inside this suite. And a lot of these are command line based, so you will need to run many of them on command line. Disk view is another one that I like to use. It shows you basically everything that's on your computer, where it's located and how well it's stored and defragmented, etc. That takes a long time to run, so we won't get very deep into that one. Disk monitor shows you some information about your disk usage, and I'll have to install that one using administrator rights. To do that, you right click, run as administrator. But we'll just move on for now. Another one I like to use quite frequently is our memory mapping tools. RAM map shows you how much of your memory is used and what exactly is using it, down to the process. So that's actually a pretty good file, and there's just a lot of different programs in here that allow you to explore what is going on behind the scenes in Windows.